Can you imagine that a tiny can of sardines tucked away on the lowest shelf of your grocery store might be more powerful than the pricey supplements in your medicine cabinet? It sounds almost too simple to be true. For under $5, this humble food could help clean your arteries like a pipe scrubber, strengthen aging bones like a natural calcium pill, and even sharpen your memory when the years start to blur the edges. Yet for decades we've dismissed it. Because of the smell, because it's canned, because it looks cheap. But here's the twist. That very can once laughed at or left behind has now been quietly praised by cardiologists, bone specialists, and even neurologists. Why? Because it works. In a time when fancy labels and celebrity-endorsed health products flood our screens, maybe it's time we look back at something honest. Something that doesn't come in a shiny bottle but still holds the secrets to senior health longevity tips and healthy aging. If you're over 50 and tired of feeling like staying well always comes with a high price tag, what I'm about to share could shift the way you see your plate and maybe your future. A 10-year study from Japan's National Cancer Center found that older adults who ate small, oily fish like sardines 2 to 3 times a week had nearly a 30% lower risk of heart attack and stroke. 30%. That's not marketing. That's real science and real hope. So here's my question. Are you willing to look beyond the label and rediscover what nature has quietly offered all along? If this video helps you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss insights on how to live healthy after 50. And tell me in the comments, have you eaten sardines lately? If not, what's been holding you back? Now let's peel back the lid on this misunderstood fish and uncover why sardines just might be the best kept secret in senior nutrition. Part 1, the wake-up call. Mr. Johnson and the $5 truth. Mr. and Mrs. Johnson have been married for over 40 years. They live in a quiet town outside of St. Louis, Missouri. Like many retired couples, they care deeply about their health, but in very different ways. Mr. Johnson is what you might call a supplement guy. His kitchen shelf is stacked with imported fish oil from Norway, shark liver capsules from the Atlantic, and heart support pills from a brand he saw on TV. Every month, he spends hundreds of dollars believing that price means power. His wife, Linda Johnson, takes a different path. She reads labels. She clips coupons. And one afternoon, while browsing the grocery store, she picked up a few cans of sardines, less than $5 each. Packed in olive oil, she'd read somewhere that they were rich in omega-3s and calcium. She figured it couldn't hurt, but when she brought them home, Mr. Johnson barely looked up from his newspaper. He wrinkled his nose and said, "You bought that, it smells. That's poor people's food." He went right back to swallowing his imported pills with filtered water. Linda didn't argue. She just quietly ate the sardines with rice or crackers a few times a week. 6 months later, they both went for a routine checkup. The results were unexpected. Mr. Johnson's numbers didn't look good. His triglycerides were still high. His doctor noticed early signs of arterial plaque, tiny blockages that could one day lead to a heart attack. Despite the expensive supplements, nothing had improved. Then came Linda's report. Her blood pressure was excellent. Her cholesterol levels were in the normal range, and her vascular age, the doctor said, looked nearly 10 years younger than her actual age. The doctor turned toward Mr. Johnson. He asked, "What have you been eating?" Linda shrugged and said, "Just sardines. A few times a week. Nothing fancy." That's when the doctor smiled. He looked at Mr. Johnson and said, "You've been taking fish oil, which is one single nutrient, but your wife has been eating the whole fish. Omega-3, calcium, vitamin D, selenium, CoQ10. It's like she's feeding her body a full team of protectors. Sardines aren't cheap. They're smart." For the first time in years, Mr. Johnson was quiet. You see, this story isn't just about one couple. It's about a mindset that many older adults have been taught. That health comes from a pill. That simple foods are inferior. That expensive means effective. But the truth is, sardines offer what many supplements can't. They're one of nature's most complete superfoods, especially for those of us focused on senior health, heart protection, and healthy aging. Studies have shown that small fish like sardines are packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation and help clear cholesterol from the arteries. According to research from the American Heart Association, omega-3s from whole fish may be more bioavailable, meaning more usable by the body than those in pill form. And it's not just the heart. Sardines are high in natural calcium and vitamin D, two essentials for strong bones. They support memory and brain clarity through DHA, which makes up the structure of our brain cells. For anyone seeking longevity tips and doctor-recommended advice for older adults, sardines check nearly every box. So the question isn't, why would I eat sardines? It's why haven't I been eating them all along? In the world of senior nutrition, sometimes the most powerful answers are the simplest ones. And in this case, they come in a small tin can, quietly waiting on the bottom shelf. Let me ask you, have you ever overlooked sardines because of how they smell or look? Or maybe you've written them off as outdated or unappealing. Leave a comment and tell me what you think. I read everyone. And if this story opened your eyes, please tap the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you never miss a chance to live healthy after 50. Now let's dive deeper. The truth about sardines goes far beyond this one story. Part 2, 3 common myths that keep seniors away from sardines. Let's be honest. Most people don't grow up dreaming of sardines. The smell, the can, the memories of someone else's lunch back in the day. For many older adults, just hearing the word brings back wrinkled noses and polite refusals. But what if the things we've been avoiding are the very things that could help us live longer? In Tampa, Florida, a 68-year-old woman named Darlene used to push sardines to the back of her pantry. They smell like the doc, she'd say. But after her doctor suggested she cut back on red meat and boost her omega-3 intake, she gave sardines another look. That doc smell she once hated, it turns out it's not a flaw, it's a feature. The rich ocean scent in sardines is caused by naturally occurring omega-3 fatty acids. These healthy fats are one of the biggest reasons sardines are a secret weapon in senior nutrition. And the stronger the aroma, the more powerful the punch. According to the National Institutes of Health, omega-3s can reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, and protect against plaque buildup in arteries. So yes, it might smell a little stronger than chicken salad, but that scent means it's doing something real. Next, there's the myth that canned food is low quality. Many people assume that once something goes into a can, it loses all its nutrition, that it's just empty calories swimming in preservatives. But that idea is decades outdated. Modern canning uses high heat and pressure to preserve food without chemical additives. And in the case of sardines, this process has a hidden benefit. It softens the bones so much that they melt in your mouth. Those bones aren't trash, they're treasure. They're packed with absorbable calcium that your body can actually use. For people over 60, that matters. Bone density naturally declines with age. The National Osteoporosis Foundation estimates that 1 in 2 women and up to 1 in 4 men over 50 will break a bone due to osteoporosis. Sardines give your body both calcium and vitamin D in one bite, something even many supplements fail to do. Then comes the last myth, the belief that sardines are cheap and that cheap equals low quality. But this thinking misses the bigger picture. Sardines are small fish low on the food chain. That means they don't live long enough to collect heavy metals like mercury. They feed on plankton, not other fish. That makes them cleaner than bigger fish like tuna or swordfish. Their short lifespan also makes them sustainable. They reproduce quickly and abundantly, making them one of nature's most generous gifts. In other words, sardines aren't cheap. They're efficient, they're practical, and they're powerful. People spend hundreds of dollars a year on fish oil, calcium pills, and vitamin D supplements. Sardines offer all of that, plus protein, B12, selenium, and CoQ10 wrapped in one neat package. It's not poor man's food, it's smart food, especially for those of us who care about aging gracefully and want to protect our hearts, our bones, and our minds. If you've been skipping sardines because of old impressions, it's time to reconsider. You don't need to love the smell. You just need to understand the science behind it. And maybe, like Darlene, you'll come to appreciate what that little can is really doing for you. You're not settling for less. You're choosing natural health for seniors backed by real research and timeless wisdom. Let's keep going, because what sardines do for the heart and bones is only the beginning. Part 3, Sardines versus Expensive Fish Oil Pills. The Heart Health Showdown. Walk down any pharmacy aisle, and you'll see shelves full of omega-3 supplements, shiny bottles, fancy labels, promises of a healthier heart, sharper mind, and longer life. But behind all that polish is a question few people ask. Is a fish oil pill really better than the fish itself? To answer that, let's look at what sardines bring to the table literally. Sardines don't just offer omega-3 fatty acids. They come packed with coenzyme Q10, selenium, vitamin B12, and high-quality protein. Together, these nutrients work like a synchronized repair crew for your body, especially your heart. Imagine your arteries as an old set of pipes in a house. Over time, those pipes collect buildup. The same happens inside us. Cholesterol plaque and inflammation begin to slow the flow of blood. Omega-3s help scrub the walls clean. CoQ10 fuels the heart's energy engine. Selenium acts like anti-rust protection. Vitamin B12 stabilizes the electrical signals that keep the heart in rhythm. One nutrient alone can't do all that, but a whole sardine can. In Pittsburgh, a retired welder named Frank once told his daughter, "I take fish oil every day. $30 a bottle, keeps the doctor away." But after his checkup showed no improvement in his cholesterol, she suggested something different, real food. Frank swapped one of his supplements for 2 servings of sardines a week. Within 3 months, his energy improved. His doctor noted better blood pressure and lower triglycerides. The change, a whole food source with natural balance. That's what makes sardines stand out in any senior nutrition guide. You're not getting one isolated ingredient. You're getting a team designed by nature, not manufactured in a lab. The Japanese National Cancer Center conducted a 10-year study with over 100,000 adults. The findings shocked the medical community. People who ate small fish like sardines 2 to 3 times a week had a 30% lower risk of heart attack and stroke compared to those relying on supplements alone. 30%. That's not marketing. That's real-world data. And it matters deeply to anyone over 60 hoping to prevent aging diseases without chasing the latest miracle pill. Here's another truth. Fish oil capsules often come from larger fish like mackerel or tuna. These fish are higher up the food chain and more likely to contain mercury or other toxins. Sardines, being smaller and lower on the chain, are cleaner. They feed on plankton. Their life cycle is short. They don't have time to accumulate harmful metals. And there's the cost. A single bottle of fish oil pills can cost $50 to $100. A can of sardines around 2 or 3. That's less than a cup of coffee. Yet in that small can, you get omega-3s, CoQ10, selenium B12, calcium, vitamin D, and more. For older adults aiming to live healthy after 50, it's not just about what we eat, it's about what works. And what works is often simpler, more natural, and far less expensive than we've been led to believe. So ask yourself this: if a whole food can outperform a lab-made pill, what's stopping us from choosing it? Maybe it's time to skip the bottle and open the can. Part 4. Nature's super calcium sardines and the secret to stronger bones. For years, we've been told the same thing. Drink milk for strong bones. It's been the go-to advice for generations. But for many older adults, milk isn't the answer it once was. It's not that calcium isn't important. It is, but it's only part of the puzzle. In Bakersfield, California, a 66-year-old man named Richard drank milk every morning. He also took calcium pills. But every time he had a bone scan, the results showed no improvement. He felt stiff. His knees ached on the stairs. His doctor finally told him, the calcium is going in, but it's not staying. That's the key. Your body doesn't just need calcium, it needs help using it. And that help comes from vitamin D. Without enough vitamin D, the calcium you consume passes through your system without being absorbed. It's like buying bricks for a house and never hiring a builder. Here's where sardines shine. When sardines are canned, their tiny bones become soft enough to eat. Those bones are loaded with natural calcium. But unlike supplements, sardines also provide vitamin D in the same bite. That's the builder and the bricks working together. And because it's from a whole food, your body recognizes it. It uses it. The European Society for Clinical and Economic Aspects of Osteoporosis has warned that simply taking calcium without enough vitamin D does little to protect aging bones. Their latest guidelines recommend foods that naturally combine both. Sardines do exactly that. Each bite delivers calcium from the bones and vitamin D from the fish oil and flesh. No separate pills, no risk of imbalance, just the right ingredients in the right form in the right ratio. This matters. 1 out of every 2 women and 1 in 4 men over 50 will suffer a fracture due to weak bones. A fall that might bruise a younger person could send a senior into months of pain, surgery, and rehab. Bone strength isn't a bonus, it's a necessity. For people living healthy after 50, staying independent means staying upright. And sardines help make that possible. They're not just food, they're fuel for your frame. They're structure in a can. While milk may upset your stomach and pills may pass through, unused sardines offer another way. A more natural way, a way your body was built to recognize. So the next time you're thinking about bone health, skip the carton, skip the capsule. Open a can, eat the bones. Nourish your skeleton from the inside out. Your knees, your hips, your spine, they'll thank you. Part 5. Blood sugar balance and the fight against type 2 diabetes. Every year, more than 1 million Americans over 50 are diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It doesn't arrive overnight. It builds slowly. First comes fatigue, then blurry vision, eventually blood sugar readings that creep higher and higher. But what if a small, simple food could help turn the tide? When Tom, a 72-year-old retired mechanic from Ohio, found out he was pre-diabetic, he tried everything. He cut out desserts, switched to whole grains, even bought a treadmill. But his blood sugar still hovered in the danger zone. His doctor mentioned something he didn't expect: sardines. Tom was skeptical. Sardines, really? But he gave it a shot, 2 cans a week, no sauce, just packed in olive oil. Within 3 months, his fasting blood sugar dropped. His energy picked up. And his doctor gave him something he hadn't heard in a while: encouragement. There's science behind that change. Sardines are rich in omega-3 fatty acids and high-quality protein. Both of these help slow digestion. When paired with carbohydrates like bread or pasta, they prevent blood sugar spikes. Your body takes longer to absorb the sugar-giving insulin, more time to do its job. That means fewer crashes, more steady energy. But sardines go beyond short-term blood sugar control. They help where the real battle lies: insulin resistance. In type 2 diabetes, insulin is like a key. It's supposed to unlock cells so sugar can move from the blood into the body's tissues. But over time, those locks rust. The body stops responding. Sugar stays trapped in the bloodstream. That's where sardines help in a different way. Omega-3s and vitamin D, both found naturally in sardines, act like oil for the rusty lock. They reduce inflammation. They improve the flexibility of cell membranes. That makes it easier for insulin to work, easier for sugar to move, easier for your body to function the way it was meant to. A study in Spain followed adults with pre-diabetes for 6 months. One group followed standard dietary advice. The other group added sardines twice a week. At the end, the sardine group had better fasting, glucose, better insulin sensitivity, and fewer people progressing to full-blown diabetes. That's not magic, that's nutrition. When you're focused on healthy aging, that kind of result matters. It means more than just lower numbers. It means keeping your independence, protecting your vision, saving your kidneys, holding on to your memory. Living healthy after 50 doesn't require complex rules or high-cost regimens. Sometimes it starts with a fork and a can. Sardines don't just support the heart and bones, they give your blood sugar a fighting chance, a steady hand when things get out of balance, a natural tool that works with your body, not against it. So if you've been watching your A1C creep upward, if you've felt that roller coaster of energy highs and crashes, consider this. Your next best decision might be sitting right there on the shelf, and it only costs a few bucks. Part 6. Memory protection and the fight against cognitive decline. You walk into a room and forget why you're there. You pick up the phone and can't recall who you were about to call. You recognize a face, but the name just won't come. These little slips seem harmless at first, but over time they start to scare us. For many older adults, memory isn't just a health concern, it's a fear. The fear of losing control, of forgetting family, of fading away while still alive. But your brain, like your heart or bones, needs fuel, and sardines just happen to carry the kind that matters most. The brain is made of fat, nearly 60% of it, but not just any fat. It needs DHA, a powerful omega-3 fatty acid. DHA is the steel frame of your mind. It builds and maintains brain cells. It allows messages to travel quickly, clearly, and without interruption. Without enough DHA, the brain slows down. It becomes fragile. Connections break. Sardines are one of the richest natural sources of DHA, far better than pills, because they don't just give you the steel, they bring the wires and maintenance crew too. Vitamin B12 helps preserve the myelin sheath, a protective layer around nerves. Think of it like the insulation on your electrical wires. It keeps signals fast and clean. When B12 is low, that layer thins, nerves misfire, thought becomes foggy. Vitamin D does something equally important. It helps the brain sweep out waste, especially a sticky protein called amyloid. Amyloid buildup is one of the hallmarks of Alzheimer's disease. Too much of it clogs the brain like sludge in a drain. Together, DHA, B12, and vitamin D form a defense team. Structure, insulation, cleaning. They protect your thinking, your focus, your memories. Helen, a 75-year-old former librarian in Idaho, used to read 2 novels a week. Then she began forgetting chapters. Her doctor didn't panic. Instead, he looked at her diet. Helen wasn't getting enough DHA or B12. She didn't like fish. She didn't eat much meat. And her vitamin D was low. He suggested sardines just twice a week. She didn't love the idea, but she gave it a try. Months later, she felt sharper. Her reading pace picked up. Her daughter even noticed she was remembering phone numbers again. That's not coincidence. It's biology. A study published in Neurology found that older adults with higher blood levels of DHA had a 47% lower risk of developing dementia. Another study from Tufts University showed that regular fish consumption, especially fatty fish like sardines, was linked to better memory performance in seniors. This is what aging gracefully really means. Not just living longer, but staying clear, staying connected, still being you. If you're over 50 and want to protect your mind, sardines aren't just food, they're brain armor. You don't need to memorize pills or juggle expensive supplements. You just need one small can, packed with the right tools, built for the job. So the next time you forget where your keys are, don't panic, but do think about what your brain's been eating. It might be time to give it what it's been missing. Part 7, how to choose and eat sardines the smart way. Not all sardines are created equal. If you want to unlock their full power for your heart, your bones, your brain, you have to know what to look for and how to enjoy them. The first step is choosing the right can. Skip the flashy labels, ignore the fancy packaging. Turn the can around and read the ingredients. You want sardines packed in olive oil or spring water. Olive oil protects the delicate omega-3 fats and adds heart-friendly antioxidants. Spring water gives you the cleanest flavor with the fewest calories. Both options help you live healthy after 50 with no added junk. Avoid sardines in tomato sauce or heavy brine. Many tomato sauces are loaded with sugar and salt. That's bad news if you're watching blood sugar or blood pressure. Sardines packed in salty brine can raise your sodium levels and cause water retention, especially if you're dealing with kidney concerns or swelling in your legs. Next, check the country of origin. Portugal, Spain, France. These coastal regions have a long tradition of harvesting sardines with care. Their fishing methods and canning practices are cleaner, safer, and more sustainable. If it says wild caught from the Atlantic, even better. Once you've picked the right can, it's time to enjoy it. Don't overthink it. Sardines are versatile and easy. You can eat them straight from the can with crackers or over warm rice. That's how many folks in the Mediterranean do it. Simple, nourishing, real. Want to ease into the flavor? Try this. Before eating, squeeze a bit of fresh lemon juice over the top. A light sprinkle of ground ginger works too. These cut the fishy smell and bring out the natural umami taste. It's a trick passed down through generations, and it works. Feeling adventurous? Make a sardine salad. Take the sardines and mash them gently with a fork. Add chopped red onion, parsley, a squeeze of lemon, and a teaspoon of olive oil or light mayo. Serve it over lettuce or tuck it into a sandwich. It's creamy, tangy, packed with senior nutrition. Or try the favorite of Jim from North Carolina, age 67. He cracks open a can, mixes it with 2 eggs, and fries the whole thing in a nonstick pan. Sardine omelet, light, filling, full of brain-boosting fats and calcium. This is not diet food, it's longevity food. You're not eating for trends. You're eating for strength, for clarity, for independence. The best part, you don't need to spend hours in the kitchen. These meals take minutes and deliver nutrients that last a lifetime. So the next time you're at the store, skip the snack aisle. Walk past the frozen meals. Head for that quiet little shelf where the sardines live. And pick up a few cans, because the smartest foods aren't always loud. Sometimes they're just waiting to be opened. After everything we've uncovered, from protecting the heart, strengthening the bones, balancing blood sugar, to sharpening the mind, one thing becomes clear. That little can of sardines isn't just food, it's a quiet revolution. For those of us who care about aging gracefully and living with purpose after 50, it represents something more. Simplicity, wisdom, a return to what truly matters. You don't need expensive powders or miracle pills. Real health doesn't have to come with a luxury price tag. Sometimes it's tucked inside a humble tin, waiting to fuel your strength, memory, and independence. So this weekend, pick up a can of sardines for yourself. Maybe even share one with someone you love. Let it be more than a meal. Let it be a commitment to your future, to your clarity, to your vitality. If today's message resonated with you, please take a second to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell. It helps us reach more people who want to live healthy after 50. And tell me in the comments what surprised you most about sardines. I'd love to hear your thoughts.